everybody, it's Stephen and Walter here again for another episode of So Chatty, number 195, and it's our last So Chatty for a couple of weeks as we're about to leave for London, UK, Birmingham, Festival of Quilts, and we're going to talk all about that today. But before we get to about that, it is July the 25th, by the way, I forgot to mention the date. Let's take a look at what I've been working on, and this scrappy tote, what to do with your Orphan blocks. I already talked about it earlier this week on the Idiot Quilter. Today, though, I am going to put in a short video clip discussing the details of how to put this together, because although it seemed pretty self-evident to me, I guess for some people they're a little mystified by what I did here. So I've put up I'm going to insert shortly a little video that's going to show you how I put this all together. And this is just, as I said, all Orphan blocks, just things that I was experimenting with, and I throw them in a little box and save them there until someday when I do a major clean out and then throw them away. Yeah, so instead of throwing them away, make them into a lovely tote. And Walter, what is your opinion on this tote?
It looks nice.
Looks nice, yeah. You had to say that under duress. I'm pointing a gun at him. Okay, and the other thing I am still working on, and I started this about 3 years ago, if I can find my cursor, is the Christmas tree skirt called the North Pole Village. I started it, as I said, about 3 years ago. I've got 6 out of the 14 veins done. Actually, I have all the parts done, with the exception of the ones that have the snowmen at the bottom and the presents. I thought I was ahead of the game with that. You have to make 7 of the snowman ones and 7 of the Christmas box ones. Well, I made them the wrong size, the first batch of 7 that I did, because it had been a while since I'd worked on this, and I thought I had picked the file that was for a certain size, and I didn't bother to double check it. I thought that has to be it. So in each one of these little things, just the bottom part with the snowman on it, I'm not talking about the others, take an hour to do. So 7 hours I'll never get back in my life. Ah, funny, laugh at me, go ahead, wow, whoopee. How supportive, not. Yeah, so I've had to do them again. But I also decided to start putting the veins together, because each vein is made up of 3 pieces. The 3 pieces are different, and yeah, you want to keep it right in this. So yeah, I will have it done for this Christmas. I am determined. I thought I might have it done before we went away, but I don't think that's going to happen. Anyways, that's what I've been up to. And what has Walter been up to? What have you been up to, Walter? What have you been doing? What's happening? Tell us.
Not much. I'm putting my bookcase together. I'm doing a bunch of other things.
Okay, could you speak up?
I'm putting my bookcase together.
You know, you ask for a simple thing. Just a simple thing. Just, could you speak a little louder into the mic, please? You know, kind of a thing. And so he goes stream.
I'm doing some research for London, and
are you?
Whatever. And I'm not sure what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm getting ready to go.
Yeah. Bye. Yeah. So, anyways, that's what we've been working on. And some announcements. Okay, so since we're going away, there will be no sewing with Stephen on Wednesdays for the next couple of weeks. We will not resume until Wednesday, August the 13th. Okay, so you got a couple of weeks off, all of you who are regulars, and those of you who are irregular. We have it August the 13th. But there will be a pop-up sew day as well after that date on Saturday, August the 16th. So that's going to happen pretty quick, one after the other. So you might want to pencil that into your calendar. Walter, I think, has a sew day at his own little group of people who do whatever they do. I don't know. I think they just sit around and talk most of the time. But anyways, and big news. As of today, July the 25th, yeah, we hit 12,000 subscribers. Say it isn't so. I never thought we would see that. So now we're working on 13,000. So tell your friends, tell your family, tell the guy on the street. Just Get them out there and tell them to subscribe to it. Okay, I mean, I'm only 88,000 short of getting the big silver plaque from YouTube. Don't think that's ever going to happen. I'll just make my own. I'll probably can 3D print it. Okay, so as I mentioned as well, I'm going to insert here a little 9-minute video talking about the tote in more detail and how I put it together for you, because I had a few people request this, so I thought, well, what the heck, I'll do it that way. So I'm going to insert that video clip right here, right now. So since I showed this bag earlier in the week that I made from just Orphan blocks, I've had several people ask me what my procedure was, and which I kind of find surprising because this is pretty much a basic tote, but I thought I would just go over very quickly some of the things that I did. So this is the final bag, as you can see, and it's just a tote. It is lined, and it also has soft and stable between the layers as well, so it will stand up, as you can see. So let's just, what I started with. Where did I get the idea? Well, this is not an original idea. I'm sure many people have done this kind of thing before. We all have orphan blocks or projects that we started and we lost interest in and decided we didn't want to make those anymore or whatever, and just either threw out the blocks we had or threw them in a bag somewhere and forgot about them until sometime in the future when we're having a clean out and we throw them away. I save all my orphan blocks. I have several containers full of orphan blocks. And here are a couple. And these ones are part of the set that I used in the bag. I had this idea one day that I would just sew scraps together, you know, not worried about anything. Just threw them together, whatever came out, and create these squares. And my idea was that I would eventually probably create like maybe a crazy quilt or something like that out of these. Well, they have sat in this container for quite a while. I dug them out the other day. For some reason, I got this idea, well, maybe I should put them on my embroidery machine and do a little quilting on them by way of the embroidery machine, because the embroidery machine does have some quilting files, and I don't usually use those files very often, but I thought, yeah, I feel in the mood for this kind of thing. Now, basically, this was a palette cleanser. You know how you have some of those days where you just don't feel like you want to do anything at all, but you feel you should be doing something? When that happens to me, I'll often go into my scrap pile, grab my scraps, and just start sewing them together, and with no purpose whatsoever except just to do something. So I got these out, I put them on the embroidery machine, and I let it go to town on it. Well, then I looked at it and thought, well, what am I going to do with these? Do I want to do anything with them? At first I thought, well, I'll make a quilt from them. But I didn't really want to take the time to embroider all of these different orphan blocks, whatever you want to call them, scrap blocks. So I had 8 of them done, and 4 put together, side by side, you know, a 4-patch basically, was enough fabric for maybe a tote bag. So that's how I got started. So I made a big square of 4, a 4-patch as I said, and it measured about 19.5 inches by about 19.5 inches. So not a bad size. So I put them all together. I sewed all those together, made 2 panels, and then I got looking at it thinking, well, it needs something else. So I backed them with soft and stable, cut a piece big enough for one of the panels, put it in my domestic sewing machine, got out my black thread, and just basically went along every one of the seams, as you can see here, with basically a ladder stitch. I didn't really care which way they went. I just wanted to see what it looked like. And this is what I call crazy quilt patching, or crazy quilt sewing, I guess. So I had those 2 panels done, thinking, okay, let's carry on and make this into a bag. So I needed a bottom on the bag, and the first thing I did was grab some fabric, you know, and cut out a piece, back it with soft and stable for my bottom. But then I thought, wait, these squares are already 19.5 inches. I want about a 3.5 inch piece for the bottom. why don't I just cut off 3.5 inches each panel? They're already backed with the soft and stable, so I don't have to do anything more with it. And I sewed one strip to the bottom of each panel, and then I flipped them over and did a top stitch along them. So now I've got the front and the back of the bag. So before I continued, I decided what I wanted for my lining, and I had this fabric, and this was actually a fat quarter, and this quarter worked out pretty good because I didn't really need to cut it. I just folded in half, gave it a light press along the crease, and then I cut out my corners. Now I'd already cut out the corners on the front and back panels, and I cut them out at 3 inches. So, you know, little 3-inch square from each corner so I could box in my corners. I did the same thing with the lining. Then I sewed up the sides of the lining, and I sewed along the bottom crease, but I did leave a space where I could cut a slit into the fold. Now I know some people would say, well, they would have had the two pieces of fabric separate, and then it would already be open at the bottom for, you know, birthing the bag when we get to that part of it. But I'm lazy. Well, I've already got a nice crease here. I'll just take my scissors and just cut about a 5-inch, 6-inch slit in that fold, and that will do. And I did back stitch at each end of that cut, just to give it a little bit more reinforcement when I'm pulling the bag through the hole, because you know that puts a lot of stress on a seam. So, sewed up the sides of the front and the back, left it right side out. Oh, and I also put in the handles. I sewed the handles along the edge, and this is pre-made webbing. I like using the pre-made webbing for my handles. It's strong, it comes in a variety of colors, and you don't have to worry about making your own, but you could if you wanted to. And so I had all those sewn together. So then all I had to do was I boxed the corners, and you know, I'm not going to teach you how to do that. There's lots of videos about that if you've never done it before. It's pretty easy. And I did the same on the lining. I put the lining with the bad side, wrong side out, and I stuffed this bag inside the lining with the, see it here. Made sure that the corners all matched up in the seams, put clips all the way around it, and sewed along the edge in about 1/2 inch. Then I birthed the bag, pulled the whole bag through the lining. So I have the lining now with the right side out, and the bag's right side out, and I stitched up the hole in the bottom of the lining, stuffed it back in the bag, and then took my clips and went all the way around this edge. And I decided at this point I kind of wanted the there to be a bit of what looks like binding, but that's not binding. That is basically the lining in the bag, just pulled up a little bit and folded over the top, and then I stitched an invisible thread all the way around that edge. And just to make my handles hang a little bit better, because before that the handles were stitched down here, which were fine, but I wanted them up here a little bit more, so I stitched at the bottom and I stitched at the top with invisible thread again. I love using invisible thread. I hate threading my machine with it because I can't see it. That's why it's invisible. But it does a great job, because I knew I will never be able to keep my stitching here really straight if I used a regular thread that you might see. So with the invisible, if I'm a little crooked, no one's going to notice it. And that's how I made this bag. It was just that simple. But the thing is, I'd like to make another one, because I've got more orphan blocks. But it is a great way to get rid of your orphan blocks, to use them up. And you know, the end design of this I really like. I think it makes a very attractive bag. So, you know, if you're looking for gifts for people, don't be afraid to use some of your orphan blocks. It works. Okay, so now we can get on with the main topic. So since we're going off to London and to the Festival of Quilts in Birmingham, I thought we should talk maybe a little bit about, before we get there, sort of a preview of possible quilt stores in London we'll go to, and even more importantly, talking about the Birmingham Festival of Quilts as well, what we know so far from their website. But let's start with quilt shops, and they don't really call them quilt shops there. I found out when I was doing a search. Walter says, no, you have to search not by quilt shop, but by patchwork shops, because of course they call putting quilts together, the tops, patchwork, which is not a term I don't think we use on this side of the ocean as regularly as that. I've heard it. I mean, it is patchwork technically.
Well, that's what they call it in Australia.
Well, Australia has English roots, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So do we in Canada, but we tend to go with what
I think
Americans
when
say.
I did a search, you could find some under quilt shops and some under patchwork shops. I think it depends on what in their search
and
engines.
then there's haberdasheries.
Yeah, haberdashery.
I can't even spell that word, but I mean, I've heard that word before, but that's because I have a degree in English, and when I was doing English literature, as in like Victorian novels and things like that, that word was common in books like that. But here, I don't think we really use the word haberdashery, which I think just means a collection of things related to sewing.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing. It's kind of a nice word in a way. It sounds, oh, I'm off to the haberdashery, you know. People say, oh yeah, what kind of cheese are you going to get? No. Okay, so shops in London. Well, first of all, when I was doing a search, I found this page. This is I don't know who this woman is. Amy Smart, Diary of a Quilter. She writes a vlog, I guess. And she was talking about pretty fabric shops in London. And this was kind of an interesting read, but I'm not going to read it to you. But she mentions one called the Cloth House. And they say it's sadly no longer located in Soho, central London, has moved to Camden. Well, Camden, I'm assuming she means Camden Markets area.
Yeah, well, Camden is actually an area.
It's a verb.
Soho is an area. Camden is an area. Actually, we're staying fairly close to Camden.
Are we?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll keep our eyes open for this one, the Cloth House. But this is their website. And they look like they have a wide variety of fabrics that aren't just meant for patchwork quilting. Well, it says up here, fabric, haberdashery, homeware, vintage gifts, fabric for. We go to fabric for shirts and blouses, dresses, trousers, jackets, coats, furnishings. And then they have cotton down here. And they have different types. They have lawn, they have poplin, jersey, bonnet and coated cotton, all pattern.
It's mostly, it looks like mostly clothing fabric.
Yeah. But they certainly have, looks
It'd
like
be
they
interesting to go there.
go there and see, yeah. Because, I mean, it doesn't hurt to take a look at other things. But I think they did cotton up here, I think, as well. Where was under cotton? Block print and hand, organza, jersey canvas.
Lawn, poplin.
All plain, all patterned.
Yeah.
As you know, I don't know what the name, what that is. These are ones I've never heard of before. I don't know.
To me,
might
they
be
look
more
like more
garment
or
home decor.
Home decor sewing.
But it'd be interesting to see it if we happen to spot it in the market. And another one that article talked about, of course, everybody knows, is Liberty. Now, I always thought when people were talking about Liberty that Liberty is just like a quilt shop kind of thing. It's not. It has a whole lot of other things. But if we look here under fabrics, I don't like how this moves around on their thing. It drops down these menus and everything gets in your way. Okay, summer dresses. See, they have clothing, they have bags, they have perfumes. They're a department store. But Liberty Fabrics, now, I did see, I think it was up here, they do have quilting cotton.
Under fabrics.
Oh, yes, there's fabrics, okay. And
Cotton for quilting.
For quilting, there we go. So, And of course, it's typical Liberty fabric, so it's very floral, very, not quite old lady, but definitely, I know some of it I like, some of it I'm not that thrilled with, but I'm looking at the prices. It's £16.95. That's £16.95. And I imagine that is per meter. Yes, that is per meter. So that's about.
It is also quite wide.
Oh, is it? It's wider than the usual.
It's 1.08 meter. No, it's not that much. It's about the same width.
Roll finished on it. Yeah, it's about the same.
Yeah.
As ours. So 16 pounds, 17 pounds is basically about $32 Canadian. That's a meter. That's a lot. That's very expensive. Well, actually, Walter's going to check it right now on the phone. I made a guesstimate. We'll let him see what the current price is today of the Canadian dollar, and I'm talking Canadian dollar here, against the pound. And the number is
31.25 Canadian.
Well, I was close.
Yeah. In US dollars, it's $23 US.
A meter.
Yeah.
A meter. So it is pricey. But Liberty is, even if you buy Liberty on this side of the pond, and you can get it in certain places, you're still going to pay premium prices for it, for sure. Just go back here for a second. What Walter's interested in is the lawn. Oops. Got to find the lawn.
Classic Tana lawn. There's Tana lawn cotton, so go Tana lawn cotton.
And what is Tana lawn?
Tana lawn is a very fine weave cotton. It almost feels like silk.
Now they do have some interesting.
They have some different patterns there
in it too. You could probably use this in quilting too, but do you want to spend? It's 30 pounds, so 30 pounds. That's about $43, $44 Canadian per meter. Per meter.
No, it's 29.95.
Could have just put in 30.
So it is $55.
Ooh.
Canadian a meter.
So that's a lot. Now, are these wider or are they same? Yeah, they're a little wider.
They're a little wider.
They're 1.36 meters. So that's 1.5.
Well, it says 1.33 is how much is available. So that doesn't.
Oh, usable.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
1.36.
That one right there's very. When you see it up close.
1.36.
He's doing calculations again as we speak. While he's doing his calculations, you notice we're both wearing blue today.
It's about 53 inches wide.
Okay, so, well, that's pretty wide.
Yeah.
Because ours are usually only about 42 to 44 inches.
So I could probably squeeze out two and a half meters.
Yeah. For making a shirt.
Yeah.
But anyways, they have other things here too. So it's going to be a very interesting store to look around in, I am sure. We were there once years ago, but that was way before we ever got into sewing and quilting and garment making. And I picked up some kind of 3D dimensional card because I was a paper crafter in those days. But I don't remember really going around. I remember a central courtyard kind of a thing with all these balconies around, and I thought at the time it was maybe a little shopping center.
Yeah.
Go into every section. I didn't realize it's all one big store.
You were going there for paper crafting, and we weren't really looking at fabric. So now we'll be looking at fabric.
Yeah.
So
plus, we heard yesterday from one of my regular subscribers, she said that the building is kind of unique because it's made from two old ships that were put together. So if you look up in the rafters of it, I don't know if there's a picture. They have an actual picture of their store or not. Let's see here. Well, that's the outside of what it looks like here. I was just talking about But I'm sure if we did a search on the internet, you'd find a picture of what it looks like inside as well. But like that from the outside does not look like two ships. But maybe
No, unless you meant. Well, I have to look up the history on Liberty London. It could be that the materials from the ships.
maybe
were
that's
used
how
to
they did it.
construct
Yeah, that could be. To me, this looks almost Tudor in style.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. So it's a destination spot, really, because of everything that they have in there, their fabric, as well as the architectural layout of it too. Another one in London, Fabrics Galore. This is another one that has dressmaking and all kinds of things, but they do have quilting and Christmas, plain patchwork, blender patchwork, floral prints. They have batiks. And their prices are now that's per half meter unit. That's pretty cheap. £2.25 half meter, so that's what, £4.50. I'm never sure what to say with the decimal place. You want to say cents, but it's not. I think it's cents. But so £4.50 a half meter per half meter. So that's £9 a meter. £9 a meter works out to in Canadian.
16.59.
Well, that's more the prices that we pay.
Yeah.
That particular place,
Which would work out to $12.17 US.
So that's more the price range that we are used
Well, and
to.
this says per half meter unit, 450. Okay,
Yeah, that's what I said. They've got a lot of florals too and things. But anyways, it might be worth looking into. It's somewhere, I'm not sure exactly in London where it is, but it's probably in the area of that we'll be in. We'll be all over the place anyways. Another one that have a wide selection of things because they also have furnishings, dressmaking, I said before, that kind of thing. And different fabric types too. Gingham, jersey, drape, corduroy, brush cotton, bamboo. So yeah, so it might be on our travels. It might be something that'll be interesting to check out. Walter's looking it up on the map.
Yeah, I'm trying to, but yeah, I have to look at some more.
Okay.
I think it looks like it's outside of the central area.
Yeah, might be. Now I'm jumping ahead here. This is not where I want to go yet. That's Birmingham, and we're in now. But before we get to that, where am I? No, this is still London. Sewing and Craft Superstore, and it looks like they have knitting and crochet as well as craft fabrics, sewing machines, and of course their fabrics and cotton drill. Would cotton drill be the same as what we consider? I don't know if that's the same. Oh wait, cotton batik, cotton poplin, cotton yarn dye. They have a lot of cotton canvas, cotton dyeing. I don't see anything that says quilting, sewing, and haberdashery. That's all your supplies. So I really don't know. See, they've got so many different names for the cottons. Like cotton rayon. How can you have cotton rayon? Must be a blend.
Must be a blend.
Cotton batik.
Tartan fabric?
Yeah, maybe. Well, let's check out. They got cotton batik. So batiks. Ooh, some of these are kind of fun.
Well, may need a big bag.
Yeah, geez. Oh God. The people were having yesterday on our sew day with Stephen. They were taking a poll as to how much I will spend on fabric, and I said it's got to be something really unique. I'm not having got a lot of space to bring tons of fabric home, and plus the prices are much more expensive. Let's see what they're charging for this. Okay, a meter, £7.99, so £8 for a meter, and that's a batik. But I don't understand what the plus sign in front of that means.
They have, this is weird, they have fabrics from Tonalon from Liberty. And it's 13.75. Oh yeah, 13.75 per half meter. That
Yeah.
makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, for a half meter. So their prices don't seem to be too bad. Well, meter 7, 8. So that's about $15
Yeah.
Canadian. So that's pretty good. I mean, that is a blender, but I really like that one. That one's pretty. So, yeah. And there's another place that came up for London too. These were the ones that came up at the top. And this is called McCullough and Wallace. And now it doesn't look like it sells necessarily. Well, it does have fabrics here. Just a second. Dead stock. The hell's dead stock?
Dead stock is probably stuff they're trying to get rid of.
Oh, maybe. Or is it a type of fabric? I don't know. All of these items are bought by us as dead stock. This means the stock is limited and is very unlikely to be repeatable. And it is bought at the end of a collections where materials have been remaindered before the next season begins. Oh,
yeah,
okay. So it's like discontinued stuff.
Discontinued stuff,
basically, or whatever. Want some herringbone? Go back up here, fabrics. So what have they got in? Quilting cotton, fabrics, newest edition, Duchess, satins, wools, patterned cottons. Here's cottons right here. Let's see. Plain, utility, knits, shirtings, cotton checks, geometrics. Nothing really saying that this is particularly for quilting. However, it is cotton, and they do have cotton pictorial prints. So this here would probably, yeah. See, this would be very difficult to buy from the website unless you knew exactly what you're looking for. Now, they do say ideal for garments and quilting. So what are their prices like? Okay, that's interesting. 1 point looks like it's, oh wait, no, it's 1.0. Well, that's a meter. Okay. So, 23 pounds for a meter for that particular thing.
Yeah, it's an only 28 wide. 280 centimeters.
It's 280 centimeters. So, all this conversion we have to do. But that's pricey. They look expensive though to store. Just the heading on them gives you that. And of course haberdashery. And lots of things in here.
It's 110 inches wide.
Oh, well, that's big. That's like almost 3 times.
That's a wide back.
That's a wide back. Yeah. Again, you see, very difficult, I think, to spot this stuff, to see what they're really talking about until you go into the store. And I'm not sure where in London this place is, but we'll maybe find it and check it out. Okay, so then there's, these are not the only places in London. There is, like these first 3 here, they're all concentrated in this area right here. All the stores, and that's pretty much, I guess that might be considered central London. I don't know.
Yeah, that's all that seems to be. This whole area. This whole area here is central London. So that's a little out.
So there seems to be quite a few places listed.
Yeah.
Of course, all necessarily patchwork stors.
Click on where Fabrics Galore is. Back. I was trying to find it on the map and it blanks out on me.
Okay, I'm trying to get this thing. I got it. Fabrics Galore.
It's there. It's on the.
It's.
Down at here. Hang on.
Well, there's
Click
the cloth
there.
house.
Click off. That's Camden. Here.
This is the Sewing and Crafts Superstore. Simply Fabrics.
That's Sewing
and
Craft.
Craft.
Go back up. See there. Near. This
Which
one
one?
right here. No, you keep hitting the Superstore. No, the one next to. this one
I
here.
can't, I
This
can't
one's the superstore. This one here is the.
Would you like to see what I see when you did that?
What?
This is what I see. What do you see? What do you see? My fist, right? Yeah,
This
that's better.
one.
Jeez.
There, that's it.
Okay. Opens 10 a.m. Friday. It's closed right now. Oh, of course, it's late over there. It's 5 hours. Yeah. So, but reading around that, it's also that Simple Fabrics, Really Maria. Seems to be a bunch of, course, mind
Can you
this
blow
is-
that up a bit? Okay, oh no, better see it. Okay, I'm just looking at where the tube stops are.
There's one there. That's Clapham
Hi.
High Street.
Okay, hang on. This one up here,
That's what? Wandsworth?
and that looks like it's the central line.
Stock.
And that's the northern line.
Okay. Well, anyways, all these are probably accessible from the tube.
Yeah.
Without any problem. You can get anywhere in London on the tube. Okay, so let's go. So those are just a bunch down here before Walter interrupted me. There's different ones. So you see, it's quite actually around. And these are all supposedly in London. Of course, London's a big place. But tons and tons and tons in there. So, no lack of...
Oh, when I go upstairs, later tonight, I'll write them all down and figure out where they are and tubes.
Yeah, okay, that's nice. You can talk about that later. So, Birmingham. That was just a list of the cotton patch seems to be a very popular place in Birmingham itself, and they have a picture of what that looks like here.
Because that's a lot of K Facet. We can get that stuff. Boutiques.
And out of curiosity, price-wise for the CAFE, these are kits. Oh, not all of it. No, seed packet, that's patterns and kits. Okay. Oh, here we go. Oh, well, that one's out of stock, but per quarter meter. So it is 16 pounds for a meter.
Yeah,
so
that's quite pricey.
That's pricey. Because that's about what? About $28 Canadian.
Yeah,
meter.
but take a look at it closely. What's the width of that one? Doesn't say.
Doesn't say. But it's...
Scroll up. Scroll down. Product specification. Go back. Up. Product. Click on product specification. You're on product description. Okay.
Yeah, that tells us nothing. Fabric information. It's 42 to 40.
Yeah.
Which I would assume because it's free spirit.
Yeah, I know that, but you never know. It might have been a wide bag.
Well, might have been, but it don't look like it was. But anyways, so looking here. No, this isn't where I want to go here.
Yeah, so that would have been almost $30 Canadian for 1 meter.
Yeah. So we'll move our attention then to Birmingham, to the Festival of Quilts, because that's pretty much the main event here when it comes to fabric shopping. And it gives you an outline of everything that's there. Now, we did get tickets. We got a 2-day ticket, didn't we?
Yeah.
And they have viewed the benefits of a 2-day ticket. Oh, is there special benefits? Admission at any time to the Festival of Quilts for 2 days, access to over 200 exhibitors, access to free demos and catwalks, access to all quilts entered in the world's largest quilt competition. Well, basically, that's the same as what you're going to get on a 1-day pass.
Yeah, I think so.
As well. Yeah, the same. The VIP packages.
Yeah, I just looked at that
VIP entry into the show, big deal. Access to VIP lounge, use of the VIP cloakroom, discounts on selected workshops.
3 tea and coffee vouchers.
Lunch vouchers for silver and gold VIP ticket holders. Yeah, well, This would be for the real diehards who, when they go, they're there for all 3 days of the event, and they're taking classes and everything like that.
I looked at that, but I thought it was kind of pricey.
What did it cost for the tickets you got?
Can't remember. It was 16. Well, I don't know. I paid a discount, but the regular
Did you
price,
get the early bird special?
I got it for
£20?
No, 16.
Oh.
16 per day, I think.
Okay, well, this is early bird tickets, ends July 27th, and that looks like for a 1-day pass. Oh, here. Now, they say that's for 2 days is $26.
That's probably what I paid, yeah.
For it. So, yeah, it's not cheap. That's more than what we paid for tickets for Canadian Quilt Show. When you do the not translation. What's the word?
Yeah, but £26 for 2 days.
Is that for 2 days?
I believe so.
Oh yeah, it would be. Yeah, because that's what it was for. Yeah, for 2 days. Now, I belong to a quilters guild, but yes, I do. I belong to the Canadian Quilt Association. I wondered if we could have got a discount by saying that. Well, it's too late now. We didn't do it. Oh, did you get the seniors?
I don't think I did. I didn't see it.
Quilters Guild concession. I don't. Well, they wouldn't, because we're out of the country. Yeah. They may not honor something like that. Anyways, it is pricey, but it's a big show. I have no idea what QuiltCon costs in the States for passes at it, but I'm sure somebody out there is going to tell me what it is. Okay, so I thought I'd look at the sections that they have listed here. So first of all, the competition. Now, this is not a juried show. What that means, if you want to enter a quilt, you can enter a quilt. A juried show means that, yeah, you enter a quilt, but it may not hit the quilt floor for judging. It depends on these initial people that judge it and decide whether or not it's worthy to go in the show. Here, you can put in whatever you want. You don't have to go through that process. They have categories: art quilts, contemporary quilts, for the joy of sharing, group quilts, miniature quilts, modern quilts, novice quilts, pictorial quilts, quilt creations, sustainable quilts, traditional quilts, two-person quilts, and young quilters. So they've got a lot of categories. Extra awards, excellence in long arm quilting, and then they have a guide for entering and ambassadors, how to get your quilt to them, getting your quilt back, and competition FAQs, international, and they do take international entries as well, and the award ceremony. So they have a lot of categories. So I imagine we're going to see, and because they're not juried, we're going to see a lot of quilts. Then they have what's on. So they have a textile galleries, and these are people showing off their manufactured goods, I would imagine. Special exhibits, something called Crafty Monkeys. It looks like these are maybe certain organizations, or they have the Ukrainian Quilters Association is there as well. Art fashion, so if you want to see, I imagine, quilted coats and things like that. Creative textiles, a demo stage. I think this year their featured quilter is, I can never say her name, Edda Sitar, Edita Sitar is their
Edita Sitar.
Yeah. Anyways, I never could say her name. And other thing, Liberty Fabrics. Now, Liberty Fabrics has their own thing. Book tickets. Oh, I guess that they have some kind of...
Yeah, they have a thing. You can go, these things that you can go to, and you can book tickets because they're...
Laden with... yeah, this is a special presentation by Liberty Fabrics. So let's go back up here. Oh, they have the Menopause Makes Lounge. What the heck's a Menopause Makes Lounge? Sponsored by Orphan. Jeannie Smith, Kay Walsh, and Orphan thrilled to welcome you to Menopause Makes Lounge, a dedicated space designed to celebrate women during their transitional life phase. Oh my God! in amongst a whole bunch of menopausal women. You know what that's going to be like. They'll be turning up the heat. The next minute they'll be turning it down. There'll be tears. There'll be laughter, then tears again. Possibly a little leakage. I don't know. Is that sexist? Probably. Do I care? So, yeah, that's interesting. I think we'll stay away from that one. Because they're bound to take out our eyes. Workshops, talks, and lectures. Okay, so they have all kinds of lectures, like most major quilt shows do. I imagine these are things you pay for extra. Most of them. Shopping. Now here's the exhibitors list. And they've got a lot of people. A lot of stores, like A Beautiful Thing, Ahelia Creations, AccuQuilt's going to be there. Alice Caroline, I don't know who she is. Allison's Crafts, I don't know who it is. I mean, many probably UK based. Metler is going to be there. And then they have
Angela Walker.
Is that
I assume so.
Is that the Angela? Well, be nice if they had told us a little something about her. Yeah, I think that's what's her face. That's her name, isn't it? Walker's last
Angela
name.
Walker.
Yeah, the Quilting is My Therapy. She owns that store and she does all kinds of. She used to have a YouTube. I think she still does have a YouTube channel of sorts. The Midnight Quilter, she used to call herself at one time. When I first got into quilting, I watched a lot of her videos. These are all in alphabetical order. Appliquit, Arts Finley. I don't know a lot of these. Orphan, we do. Baby Lock, of course, are going to have the main manufacturers of sewing machines. Renina is there. Brother. Clover. So they just a ton. So many more than what was at the Canadian Quilt Show. And it goes on. And on. How many pages of these things do they have? Does it say? It doesn't say how many.
No.
I thought I read somewhere it was something like over 250, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure. But yeah, a lot here. So, and a lot of these are definitely ones I have never heard of before. But that would be because they're based out of the UK. So, yeah. So, I guess there's going to be a lot of shopping. I may have to hold myself back. Especially, well, hold myself back because of the prices, for one thing. Now, they talk about oh, there's ticket prices. Well, we already looked at that. VIP patches, opening hours, getting here. Well, we're going by train. Wonder what, did you ever check this out just to see what they getting there?
Well, see, it's right next to the Birmingham airport.
Yeah.
Right? And the train, there's a train station that's right, see, there's a train station here, right next to the halls.
Yeah,
it's Birmingham International train station.
Now, accommodation can show you where we're staying because we're staying right by it. I saw it here.
That's where we're staying.
We're staying at the Moxie.
Yeah, which is right next to the convention center.
Yeah,
it's right. We can just walk across the road.
So that's good. Yeah, 2-minute walk to the venue. It says, so we couldn't be any more convenient. And of course, the rail, as Walter said, the railway station is right there as well. So we're taking the train from London right to here. So that should be easy as long as the trains are running properly. Other things that they had up here. Okay, they talk about all of this. This is sort of your administration section and about photo gallery. Now, I looked at the photo gallery for 2024 to get a sense of what they had to show. Well, they don't. This is what they had as their photo gallery. They show people in certain things standing near, but I guess I don't know if these are special people that presented or winners, but you're not really getting a sense of, the quilts that are there. So what I found was a video of this. Sort of, it's a promotional video. If I can find it, I put it up here. I thought I put it up here. There it is, here. So hopefully this will come through.
Been masses of times. I've only missed one or two.
It's truly international.
I came from Oman.
All the way from Mexico City.
You come from Adelaide? This is the biggest show in Europe, you know.
It's the inspiration thing. Here, you're able to touch things and see the fabrics. See what other people are doing and then get ideas and appreciate the wonderful work everyone does.
Everyone's so friendly.
Have entered, I think, nearly every year.
Anyone can enter and they'll hang every quilt, and you can see such a breadth of quilts and how different people interpret the category. I think is really cool.
See the work of different artists and using textiles in different ways.
I love it. I think it's super inspirational.
I think there's something for everybody.
You can take workshops. There's 400 workshops. It's unbelievable.
And then I went to the Lynn Edwards talk this morning, which was actually really lovely. So many more quilts I want to make now. I'm going to have to live to 200.
It's just been one of the best festivals I've ever been to in my whole life.
I will definitely be back, and I'm gonna have a quilt.
So if you're interested in that, again, I've put the link to it in the show notes below. So it gives you a bit of a sense of what's there. So this is a huge show. I'm looking forward to this, to see the quilts, the vendors, and just because we're getting to see a different part of the world where they quilt. We're used to everything we see in North America. North America does not define quilting. And when I say North America, I mean Americans, okay? We know about the Quilt Con. We know about the other quilt shows that they have in the States. And that's all we hear about. So it's going to be really interesting to see this approach, or what they do over there. Now, we've never been to QuiltCon, but I've seen videos of QuiltCon as well. But so it'll be interesting to compare what's similar, what's different between the two.
We have been to the UK before.
Yes.
And we've been to London many times. So that won't be exactly new for
No.
us. But going to Birmingham, I don't think we've ever been to Birmingham.
We've never been to Birmingham.
And so it'll be interesting to see this. And so we got tickets for 2 days. And
Yep. Now, some people have been asking me, what about celebrities? Are you going to, and this is one that I have been asked several times since people heard we were going to the Festival of Quilts. Are you going to meet up with Kate of The Last Homely House? No. Well, I mean, if Kate happens to be there, I happen to see her, I will go over and say hello. I mean, I don't know if she'll remember me or whatnot, because I mean, I did interview her on my channel back a few years ago, and she did come to one of my virtual retreats and graciously spent the day with everybody there and worked along with us too, as well as giving a presentation, which was really nice of her. But I think people think that I'm in contact with her all the time. Well, we're not.
we're not. And the other thing is that I don't know. Look, people seem to see people on YouTube and make people like into celebrity status or whatever, and we're just people doing YouTube channels. But anyway, if I see somebody that I recognize, I'll say hi to them.
Yeah.
But, you know, like, I mean, it's not that I'm drooling to meet somebody.
Now, we have been in contact with Adam of Adam Sews, because Adam's another person who occasionally comes to my pop-up sew days. I have had him on one of my virtual retreats before as well, and I've interviewed him too. We don't really stay in constant contact with each other, but occasionally we send an email back and forth. So I sent him an email and told him we were going to be there, the days we were going to be there. If he had any time, because I knew he was going to be going there, that maybe we can get together just to say hi or whatever. And he wrote back and said, yeah, that would be great. He had to check the schedule because he thought there were several booths he might be helping out at as well there. He's a busy fellow, okay? And I'm sure because he also operates a business, he'll be doing some networking with, you know, some of the other businesses and people there as well. But it would be nice if we actually, even just a minute or two to say hi would be fine. Nobody knows who we are over there, okay? Nobody knows who we are here either. However, it would be quite a shock if suddenly we heard say, Stephen and Walter! Like, we have been to some shows here that has happened at, except the English tend to be less enthusiastic, let us say, about things. I doubt they would be coming over and shouting our names out loud. We go, you, tally-ho, how are you? You, it's Stephen and Walter, isn't it? Oh, yes, very nice. From the colonies, you say? Yeah, no. But, yeah, we're not expecting that. Now, other people said, what about Kafe Fassett? Well, I don't know. He might be there. He might not be there. I've never met Kafe at all. So I would probably just go, yeah, there's Kafe Fassett. But I don't think I'd be going over and speaking to him. Because, yeah, who am I? He's a designer. And, yeah. And there's probably all kinds of people there that are celebrities in the UK and in Europe, but we don't know them because we don't follow the UK and the European ones. You know, we follow North American ones, so whatever. But yeah, a lot of people have asked us about that, and we're not playing fangirls. Okay? I'm not going to run up and go, ooh, I'm so excited. Yeah. Okay, so I don't know if there's anything else to tell you. Just we'll have videos on the trip as we usually do. I hope to be able to post some form of a video every day when we're there. And we're going to try and see if we have any luck connecting live for maybe 1 or 2 lives. What time of day those will occur at here in North America, in the Eastern, where we are, the Eastern time zone, have no idea. Because we will be 5 hours ahead of the time we are here.
Yeah, well, if we did one and we did one in the evening,
we'd do it in the evening. It'd be
it would be daytime here.
It would be, if we did it at 7 o'clock at night British time, Eastern time here, it would be 2 o'clock in the afternoon, kind of a thing. You have to figure out for your own time. But there'll be the rebroadcast too of any of those. And as I said, the other videos we put up will be, you know, our standard kind of ones. But we have another So Chatty for a couple of weeks. There will not be a Stephen and Walter live on Sundays for a couple of weeks, and because we'll be doing everything from over there. So, yeah.
Well, this Sunday for sure, because we'll be actually on the plane going over there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, there will be no video on Sunday this week because we'll be flying over there. So, I think I covered everything I wanted to give you. It's a feel for what we're going to walk into because, well, for you and for us too, because we've never been there before. As
it'll be a little bit of an adventure because we've been to London before, but we've never we've traveled around London, but we've never taken the train anywhere. So
no, so this will be new for us. We did the train in the Netherlands, as you know, from our videos from a month or so ago.
The train system in the Netherlands works more like a subway system, or it's more like a like a mass transit system, rather than a train system. Whereas the trains in the UK operate more like an actual train system to book way in and stuff like that,
which we have already done. for that. So we'll see how that all works out, and we'll be taking you along, as I said, by way of the videos that we'll post. Okay, enough for now. I hope everybody has a good next 2 weeks, and when we get back, we'll get back to the usual routine as well. Okay, have a good one. We'll see you later. Bye for now.
Bye for now.